What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs Series. Now I would like to continue to examine 100 years of World Championship fights. August 26, 1935. Germany's heavyweight Max Schmeling stops rival heavyweight Walter Nuzel, who's also from Germany. Stopped him in 9 rounds in Hamburg, Germany. Now, approximately 75,000 spectators had attended this magnificent fight, but thousands and more listened outside on speakers and radios. Now, the manager of Max Baer had offered $100,000 for the winner, but that offer was countered by $500,000. Walter Nuzel, who was known as the Deer Blonde Tiger, born November 25th, 1907 in Germany, and he died October 3rd, 1964 in Germany as well. Fought from 1930 to 1950. Had total bouts of 90 fights. 68 wins, 13 losses, 36 knockouts, and 9 draws. Now, he was stopped 6 times himself. And like I said, this fight was a neighborhood rivalry. But Max Nigel, who could punch, he could counter, had a beautiful right hand. It was too much for the neighborhood rival, Walter Nuzel. And he would defeat him and move on to bigger and better things. August 26, 1935. Let's take a brief look at that fight to see the results of that much anticipated night.
Turn up at Hamburg to see the big fight between Max Schmeling, dark hair, and Walter Nigel, both of Germany. Wild attacks by Nigel right from the start are a feature of the battle. But Schmeling, the former world heavyweight champion, remains very cool, though losing a round or two at the beginning. Schmeling, however, although on the defensive, piles up the points by superior ringcraft. By the end of the 8th round, he has given Nigel such a hammering that he gives up the fight. Maxie, as Germany calls him, bows to the plaudits of his enthusiastic fans. His comeback is one.
Now, the fighter you're looking at here, he's a Cuban boxer. His name is Raymond Castelli, who's a lightweight champion of Cuba. Now, we're not going to be talking about him. Like I said, during the course of this video and series, I'll be posting photos that sometimes don't relate to what I'm talking about. Just want to give all fighters, as many of them as I can, some shine and some visual opportunities. Now, September 11th, 1934. September 11th, 1935. Middleweight Teddy Urquhart defeats Vince Dundee 15 rounds in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They fought at Forbes Field for the New York Sack and the NBA Middleweight Championship belt. And the referee was Al Gaber. He had it 9-3 in behalf of Teddy Urquhart. And it was a judge who was a very familiar personality in the game of boxing. An outstanding middleweight he was. He was in the ring with Harry Greb and many others. His name was Leo Florian Hulk. Phenomenal fighter he was, as a matter of fact. Very, very good fighter. Now, Teddy Urquhart entered in the Hall of Fame in 2006. He was born June 24th, 1910 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He died March 29, 1974 in Rochester, Pennsylvania. Stood 5 foot 10 inches. He weighed 142 to 175 pounds. He was a middleweight, as well as a light heavyweight. Fought from 1929 to 1942. Had total bouts of 128 fights. 18 losses, 16 knockouts. And he was managed by Ray Fowles. Now, you also was in the ring with fighters such as Al Gaynor, Archie Moore, Tommy Freeman, Kid Overland and Pete Latzo, Ben Jetby, Izzard Charles, Billy Conn and Jimmy Bivens, Lloyd Marshall and Vince Dundee, as well as Lou Bullard, Paulie Walker, Charlie Krieger, Eddie Bay Briscoe. That's just a handful. The majority of the men that I mentioned were champions, contenders, or perhaps maybe didn't get an opportunity such as Jimmy Bivens. But all in all, he was in there with superb fighters. As for Archie Moore, over 100 knockouts, 10-year light heavyweight champion. Ken Overland, being in the ring with Sheffield Garcia. Pete Latzo, take the welterweight championship title from Mickey Walker. Charlie Krieger would give Billy Conn a beating that he would never forget. A few short months later, Billy Conn would return the favor to Charlie Krieger. But all these men were champions. I want to show you Tommy Freeman one moment. And here's Tommy Freeman. Became a welterweight champion. Good fighter was Tommy Freeman. And I just wanted to show you Tommy Freeman, who was one of the opponents of Terry Uorth. Terry Uorth, pretty decent middleweight. September 17th, 1934. Babyface assassin Jimmy McLarnin becomes a two-time welterweight champion by out-hustling Barney Ross, 15 rounds of Madison Square Garden Bowl. It's Long Island City, Queens, New York. I mentioned that bowl to you once before. It was an arena that they called a Jinx Arena because no championship fight has ever been defended there. And the referee was Arthur Donovan. He had it 10-5 for McLarnin. Judge Charlie Lynch had it 8-6. Judge Tommy Chantel had it 5-6 as well. So over 25,000 screaming spectators. They were well satisfied. They invested $150,000 into this bout. Barney Ross and Jimmy McLarnin agreed not to include Ross's World Featherweight Championship lightweight belt. They agreed not to include Barney Ross's lightweight championship belt, I should say. McLarnin had slipped twice in round 15 over his bloody, saturated spit that was all over the floor. And he had a loose jaw with a swollen cut eye over his left side. It was a bloody mess. But Barney Ross overcame some adversity. Jimmy McLarnin, a little older than Barney Ross. He started out very young. But there would be no excuses that night from either fighter. The babyface assassin, Jimmy McLarnin, would give full credit to Barney Ross. Shake his hand. Wish him well. That was the class of Jimmy McLarnin. And as we know, Barney Ross would hold that welterweight championship belt till he would meet Henry Armstrong, 19 38.